The Bruins make a big splash late Sunday night, early Monday morning. I'm Evan Marinofski here with Connor Ryan for Bruins Rinkside. Usually we're doing the podcast. We've never recorded this late at night, early in the morning,
Nope.
especially after an 8-1 drubbing. But anyways, the Bruins make a huge splash getting Taylor Hall from the Buffalo Sabres, as well as Curtis Lazar for Anders Bjork and a second-round pick. Connor, your first reaction?
Yeah, I think like most people, I had to do a double take when I saw what the actual return was going to be, because I think especially when you factor in how many other teams have had to give up first round picks for guys like David Savard with Tampa Bay, it's like, all right, well, these guys are going for first. You have to imagine a guy like Taylor Hall, who, granted, yes, has 2 goals this year, has really underwhelmed on a very bad Buffalo team. You still have to imagine with his pedigree and his resume, you go for first for the Bruins to get him and Curtis Lazar, who I'm sure we'll talk about probably another time, just in terms of being a good depth, bottom 6 depth guy. To get both those guys and all you give up is a second round pick and Anders Bjork. I mean, I don't see what the downside. I'll be curious to see how many people have hot takes about how this is a bad move for the Bruins, because what's the risk, right? The best case scenario is Taylor Hall, who a few years ago won the Hart, and if he becomes half of what he was there, is better than what you have right now as a top 6 winger who gives you speed, skill. You have to imagine he's not going to be shooting 2.3% the rest of the year. You have to imagine that's going to at least get back to some level of equilibrium where I imagine he's not going to end the year with just 2 goals, especially with being stuck with David Krejci. And if it doesn't work out, if this all goes to hell and the Bruins still can't get healthy, all you gave up was a second round pick and Anders Bjork. Like, it's not like you're giving up DeBrusk and a first round pick, and DeBrusk goes to Buffalo and scores 30 goals, and the Buffalo drafts some crazy kid in the 20s with a pick that you gave them. Like, I don't see the downside to this, and it addresses a need that you had to take care of.
So this is my whole thing, and I've been saying this for weeks with you, was if you can just give up a second and a player or a prospect, in this case it was Anders Bjork, for Taylor Hall, you win that. Like that's fine. Again, what are you losing there? This shores up your top 6. And I think that right there, and again, this is not a fringe top 6er. This isn't Andre Kasha. This isn't Nick Ritchie. This is Taylor Hall. Now, I know, again, Taylor Hall, 2 goals, 19 points on the season. I know we don't love plus minus, because he's like a minus 21. He's had a horrible year.
Yes.
But again, he has nobody around him. He's in that horrible situation up in Buffalo. You bring him to a good system, a pretty good situation. Used to be a much better one, but still a good situation. Whether he plays with Krejci or somehow plays with Bergeron, that shores up your top 6. And that makes you a much stronger team. Now, again, the question is, are the Bruins going to get healthier around him? Does the D get healthier? But again, you have Mike Riley coming in. Hopefully you have Charlie McAvoy coming back soon. The playoffs are about a month away now. But yeah, you're right. There's no downside to Taylor Hall in this situation, because also Buffalo retains half of the salary. So, I mean, again, Buffalo got fleeced in this. I mean, this really was a huge win for Don Sweeney, no matter the outcome, whether the Bruins go to win the cup or even if they miss the playoffs. You didn't give up much. So what's the big deal here? And again, the deadline is not done. It's still, kind of early, technically in the day, so to speak. Right. And you've only given up a third, a second, Anders Bjork for Taylor Hall, Mike Riley, who's a significant upgrade for that back end, and Curtis Lazar, who it was pointed out to me, not only is he under contract for a year more, he also you can expose him in the expansion draft rather than having to expose a different forward, if that's the route they choose to take. And for the now, he's a depth piece. You can put him on the 3rd line if you want. You can put him on the 4th line. He fits in all those ways. So we will have more coverage of this Taylor Hall trade and whatever other trades come. I don't know if there's going to be more. This feels like they've shored up.
They've got some ammo though. Like, it's not like they still got it's the best of both worlds, right? They either stand pat, which you stand pat with Taylor Hall, Mike Riley, and Curtis Lazar, and you still didn't have to give up your first round pick, or we'll see what else is out there. Like, that first round pick, considering how coveted it is, you probably still get a pretty good guy for a first rounder. So we'll see what else they have cooked up. But the fact that you've acquired 3 impact guys, one guy in Taylor Hall, who, again, at the very bare minimum is better than what you had in the top 6. I don't know how you can view that as anything but a win for the Bruins. I mean, just a great move.
I love how the roller coaster of emotions the Bruins have put their fans through over the past like 2 hours. 8-1 loss, going and getting Taylor Hall. But that is that. Bruins get Taylor Hall, Curtis Lazar, and Mike Riley. That's Connor Ryan. I'm Evan Marinofski. We will have more coverage for you over at Boston Sports Journal, as well as here on Bruins Rinkside.